Hi, this is JT. We're here with Michael. We're here with Red. Some strange guy sitting over there.
My name is TJ.
TJ. All right, there's TJ.
That's TJ.
I talked to him like 9 times today, but I don't think I ever asked him his name. Tell me how that figures.
Yeah, we were lucky enough to have TJ with us this weekend.
Yeah.
He did a lot of work. He did a great job.
Man, he was pumping his tail off. So thank you, TJ. We appreciate it.
Hard work.
All right, now obviously I've got the picture up. There's already people saying whoa and so forth for the explosion that happened today. It's obviously for a photographer, makes for a cool picture, makes for something interesting. But obviously, Michael, you're okay, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let everybody know what happened. What's that picture about? What occurred there?
Well, my theory is the rear wheel. There's a hub that attaches to the side to the side plate in the wheel that the sprocket goes on, and it carries the bearings. And there's 6 bolts around that to hold the hub to. We call it a spider. To hold the hub to the spider. I think those bolts got loose on the 430 pass.
Okay.
We didn't catch it. So he went to the starting line, and the track's so good, you know, it's great traction here. We had 112 60 foot with a high gear bike.
Wow.
And so it just ripped the bolt out of the spider. And then when that locked up, it pulled the motor down into a grunt, and you don't never pull the motor down. One of the rules is like engaging your clutch. You always look at where the RPM gets to before the clutch catches it.
Okay.
Holds it at that RPM. We call it a strike RPM. You never want to strike a nitro motor below 3,500 RPM.
Okay.
If you lock the clutch in, say at 28, 3,032, it puts such a load on it, it will blow the head right off of it. It sheared all 10 head bolts in that head.
Yeah. Well, I had some. I'll throw some pictures I got at the end. So me and Red were talking earlier. So I took pictures of the rear wheel plus the head separated.
Yeah.
You can see the bolts. So I'll add them at the end of this video. What did that hit feel like? You're sitting on the top of this thing, Michael.
Yeah. I felt the compression, you know, and I felt the heat. It was, you know, it was a big blast. It was just, you know, I heard it pop, and then, like, at the same time that I heard it pop, there was no difference in time. It was pop and compression and heat, you know. But Red's got all the right safety equipment on that bike. The strap held. Had that strap not been on there, that cylinder head would have probably come through the frame.
Now on the frame you have that main center bar, and y'all excuse me who are watching this, that center bar that goes up over the what's the term for that? Is that like a spine or a ridge?
That's the backbone.
Okay, so your backbone.
Yeah.
Now, what Michael just said, you have the backbone of the bike, which is the bar, then you have the engine, and y'all when you're looking at these motorcycles, you see the strap on there, but it's still dented the backbone.
Yeah.
It dented the tubing, but yeah, that's the energy that was released by that nitromethane when it got a huge load of nitro into the combustion chamber.
Yeah.
Then it compressed it, and the bolt fractured, and then that's when it all got loose. So that much energy throwed that head up and stripped that carbon fiber strap far enough for it to actually touch the backbone of the frame.
Now, obviously, the rear wheel is toast. The head is toast.
Yeah.
On an explosion.
No, the head's in good shape.
Yeah. Okay.
The bolts are
what
toast.
physically has to be replaced now to make the bike operational?
So I have to put some helicoils in the head.
Okay.
And then add a bolt back on. And obviously check the front rod because it carried the same amount of load it took to push the head off.
Okay.
So you're going to check the rod bearing and check the rod. Most likely I'll change it just for good measure, you know. And then I've got another rear wheel at the shop. It's a Johnny Vickers wheel. It's heavier than the RC component wheel.
Oh wow. Okay.
And so it takes a little bit more of your horsepower away to pull that wheel. That's one reason I've never put it on. Weight matters.
So you got the wheel. didn't do anything frame-wise or anything
No.
like that? Nothing
No.
along those lines?
Every Nitro Harley here on this racetrack
Yeah.
this weekend has got dents in the frame rail.
Alright, so that's not a big deal.
That's not a big deal.
Now, I've talked to quite a few people. Ironically, a couple people stopped me when I was walking through the pits. I was up there doing some winter circle stuff, and they asked me, they said, the bike that blew up, did you take that picture? I said, yeah, and of course I made sure I told them it was Michael. And so they said, oh my goodness. But the 4 different people that asked me about it, this question's going to come back to Michael. They said it all, when it hit, you kind of stood up for a second and you reached down, because the first thing they thought, oh man, the guy just hurt his man parts.
Yeah, that's where I took a shot there. Like the compression, or whatever you call
Percussion.
the percussion, the release of that energy. I definitely took a shot there. That's why I didn't get off the bike right away. I sat on the bike for, I don't know, maybe 5 or 10 seconds, and I was just like, I hope I'm okay. And then I got off, and I just, you know, it was just a natural reaction to grab it, you know, and that was, you know, it definitely hurt, but I'm good now. My stomach, you know, it feels like I just did like 10,000 sit-ups. You know what I mean? I just have,
Oh wow.
you know what I mean, just sore abs.
Okay.
You know, that's it.
And then, like a true teammate, because I was on the wall, because I was getting the launch shots, because we're doing some stuff for you later, so I was making sure I get some launch shot. Not the launch shot we wanted, obviously,
Yeah.
but as I'm coming down the wall, I'm listening, because I'm wanting to know if you're okay too. A true teammate, that's the very first question that came out of his mouth. Michael, are you okay?
Yeah, Red's a good guy. He's not just the owner and the crew chief and all that stuff on the bike. He's like a life coach. You know, he keeps me in check, settles me down. You know, you know.
We all get a chuckle out of that
You're getting
statement.
deep now, ain't you?
Yeah, but, you know, being serious. You know, he taught me a lot of stuff about clutch, chassis, you know, fuel delivery, all of those things I didn't know when I first met him. You know, and he's got me a lot better as a rider. You know, he's more than just a bike owner to me, anyway.
All right. Now, we appreciate your time, and I want to make sure y'all hear directly firsthand, because we know how the online trolls like to make up crap. So you have it firsthand what happened today. Michael's okay. Red's going to get the bike up and running again, and it's going to go down the track again when Red is ready to send them down.
Well, what's the next AHDRA race? Or what was the deal? What's the next thing you plan on going to?
Well, Norwalk is in 2 weeks.
Yep.
That might be a little tight. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
If we can, we'll be there. If not, we'll be at the next race.
So you got it firsthand from the
There
two
you go.
men and this guy who talks too much over here. We can barely get through this interview because the guy makes so much noise.
You know, this is TJ's first time to ever experience any of this.
So what's your take on it today, being your first time out?
It's awesome, man. I learned a lot. At least I tried.
He was attentive, he was focused, he was paying attention, so
Yeah,
again,
he did good. He did real good. First time in the racetrack. I'm all right. I have got him back.
Yeah, I was real happy with him. Everything that Red told him to do, he did it the way Red told him to do it, and you didn't have to tell him twice. You know?
Yeah, and it got done correctly. Nothing got tore up. Nothing got broke.
I wasn't nervous. There was nothing on my
Good thing.
mind but going down a track. I didn't have to worry about any of the stuff on the bike. You know, we were
well,
good.
when we were doing the podcast session, and I've got the camera pointed at TJ for a reason, when we were doing the podcast session, beforehand I was talking to Red about when you have the amount of experience that Red has, and then you have to teach somebody that new. I told him, I said, is it hard sometimes you have to click in your head, he doesn't know, I got to slow down. I can't get mad because he doesn't know.
That
He said
is
he
my
didn't have that
biggest-
with you.
That's my biggest problem.
So,
You know. Yeah.
but he said he didn't have that problem with TJ. He said you were doing what you needed to do. He wasn't getting irritated with you. So kudos there, man. You're doing a good job. But, all right, gentlemen.
If you don't get yelled at by Red at least once or twice in a week, and you're doing a real good job.
All right. There they are. You got it firsthand. I appreciate y'all time.
Thanks,
And
JT.
Mike's okay.
I
Red.
appreciate everyone's support. Thank you for caring about it.
All right, y'all have a good one. We're out of here.
Thank you, JP.